Wakey out there, wakey. I am the infamous Miss Rhoda Young Live. Well, right now we are on a breaking news story here in Norfolk, Virginia, about what's really going on with Wells Fargo Bank and these pipelines. Right now, inside of Norfolk, Virginia, right inside of Norfolk, Virginia, we have some protesters protesting about the way Wells Fargo is supporting this pipeline that's going to run into our low-income neighborhoods. They said that with them putting these pipelines in the low-income neighborhoods, it's going to cause a domino effect on our health. They said they would not place the pipelines nowhere else but in the low-income neighborhoods, and they're not standing for it anymore. They had several pipelines, gas lines to explode and to demolish a whole neighborhood. Why would Wells Fargo support any type of construction like this? I am the infamous Miss Rhoda Young Live, where I am pulling up on the scene before Wavy News 10, Channel 3, and also Channel 13 News. This story is brought to you by James Washington, and we out here for a reason. Just like that, we out here. All right, they're right here, and we're pulling up, guys. They're right here, and we're pulling up. We pulling up just like that. All right, I'm going up in here to the Wells Fargo parking lot. To find out what's really going on. All right, wait with me, guys. Wait with me. Okay, guys, can y'all tell me, with the wind been out here, can y'all tell me if it's too much wind with the microphone? Let me know now before we start interviewing, because I want to make sure I'm able for y'all to hear and the wind is not in our way. Can y'all hear clear with this microphone on right now? Can everybody hear me? How you doing, Mr. Washington? All right. Wrap this for me, James, for 1 second. Thank you, my love. Like I told everyone, no, just hold this right here, James. Like I told everyone, this is brought to you by James Washington. Mr. Washington, I'm out here. Follow him on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter. And then go back and get my mask, baby, okay? All right, guys, give me 1 second. I'm going to get my mask while we set up. I'll be right back. Just like that. Thank you, guys. Can y'all hear me well? Is the wind in the way? We can hear it. Okay. Good afternoon, everybody, and good afternoon. Thank y'all for standing by and waiting on me. I am the infamous Miss Rhoda Young Live, one of the most famous news reporter in Norfolk, Virginia, 757 across the board. I came out here to help James Washington, which is one of my sister stations here in Norfolk, to help get this story out here, so to make sure that y'all voice do be heard. It's very important that people understand why y'all are demonstrating on this day right here, and how important it is that everybody take time out and listen to what's really going on with these pipelines. If I may have the opportunity to talk to each and every last one of you guys individually and tell me why you feel so strong-willed and minded, and why you would like to be out here and protest and let people know why the pipeline should not be coming into the low-income neighborhoods. Who would like to go first? All right, thank you. Thank you. Come on up. Come on up. Here you go.
Hi, I'm Steph from Hit the Road for People's Campaign, and we've been fighting these
one question. What type of danger that you foresee bringing these pipelines into the cities, into the low-income neighborhoods can have on their health? What do you see? What do you project in the future on these people's health?
Higher rates of cancer. They do leak. I don't care what they say. Natural gas says they don't leak. That's not true. In fact, down the street from my house, there's a processing station. I live over in Virginia Beach, but I came over here to Norfolk today because I believe we need to stick together. It leaks into the water, the groundwater. It will basically go into the air, and the processing center is going to be the biggest emitter of fumes.
Okay, thank you. Let me see, can I bring you this way? So they can hear better this way. Okay, you can see yourself too.
And my windsmoke there.
So you say the health part, you say is going to be far as cancer and what else? Asthma and what else?
Asthma, learning disorders. There's just a whole slew of health effects, and it's not just the health effects. It's the fact that you're going to have people dying early.
Thank you. How you doing?
Hey.
All right, the next one who would like to speak on what's really going on out here with the pipelines. Can y'all hear better now? Because the wind. All right. Step on up to the microphone. The next person that want to speak on. I spoke with you earlier today.
You did. How are you?
I'm fine. It's my pleasure to meet you.
Yeah.
Can you tell me why it's so important that they do not lay these pipelines in these low-income neighborhoods? And why do they choose to put these pipelines in low-income neighborhoods and not other neighborhoods across the board?
Well, one reason, I'll start off with why they put them in low income and...
Let that speak up with the wind out here today.
Okay, sure. I'll address why they put them in the low income neighborhoods and in the people of color neighborhoods is because they expect less of a fight. The people there are marginalized. They're working too much to get out and find out what's going on. Actually, when we were fighting the pipeline that went through Chesapeake and Norfolk lately, the people in the neighborhood had been told they were water pipelines. They had no idea that they were these huge interstate grade transmission gas pipelines, and they routed them right beside schools, nursing homes, people's homes, neighborhoods.
What is the danger and what is the effect it can have if one of those pipelines rupture or burst? What can happen to that neighborhood as a whole?
Well, first of all, the likelihood of them bursting is tremendously more than they claim. Neighborhoods all over the United States are blowing up. Baltimore, Boston, and forest fires caused by these things blowing up and burning down little towns and such like that. But there's a huge amount of danger. For instance, the Thurgood Marshall School in Chesapeake, pipeline runs right by it, and if that thing were to blow up, there would be nothing left of the elementary school, including people.
What do you have to say to Norfolk City Mayor for allowing this to go on in his city?
I have to say that you need to stop concentrating on getting campaign contributions from these gas companies and from these businesses that support them, and start concentrating on servicing your people instead.
Thank you. Your name one more time for the camera.
I'm Jeff Staples, and I'm with the People's Party of Tidewater and also with Tidewater DSA.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Come on up. All right. Hi, your name is?
My name is Rick.
Hi, Rick.
Hey, I'm a journalist myself, and I'm very aware of the harms that fracking does to neighborhoods all over the country, all over the world. The effects of climate change, which we have to be aware of because it's everybody's problem. We're all going to be poor, and we're all going to suffer if we continue to enable industries and developments that continue to harm and degrade our climate and our ecosystems, like fracking. I want to see our capital investments go to projects that are going to move us forward, that are going to make us healthier, that are going to make us stronger as a community. Clean energy, clean growth, clean development.
As a journalist, what have you researched about these pipelines that's dangerous to our community?
I know that contrary to what they say, it's not a cleaner source of energy. In fact, it's worse. It emits methane, which is even more destructive than carbon dioxide. And even if one particular neighborhood is not directly affected, we're going to see more harmful weather, more extreme heat, extreme cold, all kinds of disruptions that are going to make everyone poorer and less healthy.
Why do you think they choose, as a journalist, why do you think they choose the low-income communities to put these pipelines in?
I think it's because they can.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's the political favoritism is going to keep it out of wealthy neighborhoods. It's going to go to the less privileged neighborhoods, and that's what we're seeing.
Wow. And your name one more time for the camera. Thank you.
Rick.
Thank you, Rick. Rick is a journalist, guys, and we appreciate him. Everyone is coming back and forth and saying the reason they're putting pipelines in the low-income neighborhoods because we come bottom on the list. How you doing? What's your name for the camera?
My name's Allison.
Hi, Allison.
I'm out here. I've been protesting pipelines for a long time. I've been protesting pipelines when they had the ACP come around. We got that project canceled, and now we're looking to cancel the Mountain Valley pipeline that's coming through. We want to let people know that banks like Wells Fargo, JP Morgan Chase, Bank of America, they're big in financing, working the funds and funding these pipelines that are going forward. So I want to let people know you can pull your money out of these banks at any time. Go to smaller local banks, credit unions, people who are not funding these pipelines, so that you can save low-income communities, save the planet.
Wow. Thank you. We appreciate you. How about you, man? Would you like to speak on the pipelines? Miss, can I ask you one more question, please? Yeah. So, what is the reason we're protesting in front of Wells Fargo? Can you tell us that?
Because they're spending money on dirty energy. There have tons of small businesses popping all over Hampton Roads who need those subsidies.
Right.
You know, our government could give subsidies to clean air. There's people starting their solar businesses in Chesapeake. We don't need to be having our money laundered through Wells Fargo. We really need to move forward. This is our future. This is our drinking water. These are our families.
Right. And this is behind the scenes where people don't know what's really going on in your local communities. As he has spoken, they was informing people that the pipelines they was putting into these neighborhoods was clean water, and in reality they was actually adding in gas lines.
That's correct.
Yep. And I remember a story. I was working with Jeff at one point back in 2017, and they asked this lady, Dominion Power and Natural Gas is a subsidiary, knocked on the door and asked if they could pay her $50 to move her shed to run the pipeline through. That's just insulting.
Right.
And it was underneath power lines. That's where they wanted to put it. She had that house. She had a multi-generational house.
Wow.
So they just don't care about human life.
Right.
And we're trying to educate people about this.
If you had something to say to the city of Norfolk, right now is your opportunity. I have a really large platform. What would it be that you say to the city of Norfolk about allowing this to go on in their city?
I would say that they're practicing environmental racism. I mean, that's what they're doing, and they need to stop hiding behind Dominion Power and Natural Gas. They need to stop saying that everything's all right, because we know better.
Wow. And thank you. Your name one more time for the camera.
Steph Sturter.
Thank you, Steph. Mr. Jeff, one more time. I love both of y'all guys. I love all you guys. To close it out, what would you say to the city if you had the opportunity about allowing this to happen in its community?
Well, two things. First of all, stop. There's no reason for it. The clean energy has gotten to a point now where we don't need these frack gas pipelines any longer. We can do it safely, and we can put more people to work by creating the infrastructure for wind and solar energy. These people know that the reason they're continuing to support these things is because the gas companies are giving them huge amounts of money. Public record, look it up. I'm not kidding. Also, I would say to the city, take your money out of Wells Fargo. Put it into a bank that's going to support clean energy and jobs for your community instead.
Thank you, Mr. Jeff. Well said. Well said. And thank y'all for standing by and waiting on me.
Good. Oh, glad to. And I'm going to leave you with the flyers. So there's some websites and things like that. If you could pass along, that would be great.
Thank you. I will
Thank
do
you.
that as well. James Washington, may I interview you, please? James Washington, what inspired you to come out here? Thank you, guys. What inspired you to come out here today and support what's going on about these gas lines that's been put into low-income communities without their knowledge?
The reason I came out here,
Speak up, James.
the reason I had to come out here because the people got to wake up. Like I was saying on my live earlier, they may not like what we out here for, but people's got to wake up. Y'all got to know where y'all money is going. They charge us for interest fees. They charge you to put your money in your own bank. Then they charge you overdraft fees, $35. So you got to know where your money is going.
Right.
It's going to hurt us at the end.
Right. And you heard it here first. Before Wavy News 10, Channel 3, and also Channel 13 News. This news broadcast has been brought to you by James Chia Facebook page, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter. Don't forget to follow my boy. I am the infamous Miss Rhoda Young Live.
That's my other page. I finally got it back. They took it down.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. God bless.
I am the infamous Miss Rhoda Young Live, where it has been my pleasure to bring y'all this information on what's really going on behind the scenes with the city of Norfolk and the pipelines that's been laid in the low-income communities. They want y'all to know that Wells Fargo do support these gas pipelines being placed into low-income communities. What they're asking from y'all is stop depositing your money into Wells Fargo if they don't care about your future and also your health. They said these gas lines that's going to be put into the low-income communities is going to cause health issues along the way down the road. They say anything from asthma to bronchitis and also cancer. They say, why do y'all choose the low-income people to put these pipelines around? They say if the pipelines do explode, have an explosion, it can wipe out a whole neighborhood, and it has already happened before. They want y'all to know that if y'all at home, y'all may not be watching, but these guys behind me are watching and keeping y'all informed of what's really going on behind the scenes in your neighborhood. Most of them do not live in your neighborhood, but they say they are fighting for the black community and also the low-income communities out here. They also allege that the only reason the city decided to put the pipelines in the low-income communities is because the low-income people don't have the money to fight back or have a ground to stand on when it comes to fighting the city and Wells Fargo Bank. I am the most famous news reporter in the 757, where it has been my pleasure to bring you this live, raw, and uncut. Before Wavy News 10, Channel 3, also Channel 13 News. Keep your eyes open. What's going on in your backyard? Rhoda Young Live. Rhoda Young Live. I am Rhoda Young Live. You're welcome. Thank you. Yes, ma'am. It's going to be Rhoda. R-H-O-D-A.
Give me 1 second. Would you put it here?
Okay. Still feminine. Thank you guys out there, Facebook. Please be aware and please be mindful of what's going on in your backyard. You sleep, but these guys out here are totally awake. They know what's going on and how dangerous it is with this operation they got going on behind the scenes and nobody knew about, not even myself. Gas lines are being placed into the low-income communities, which is a very dangerous thing for the low-income communities. These people allege that they're telling you guys that it's not that dangerous. They say, but if one gas line explodes, it's going to wipe out the whole community in that area where the gas lines are laid at. They say stay woke. The gas line can interfere allegedly with your drinking water. They say that's why they choose the lower income communities to put these lines at. They say they're not putting them in the rich neighborhoods. Y'all figure out why. Why are the gas lines going into low income neighborhoods and not the people with money? Because it has something to do with your health. We out here for a reason. We out here, guys. Once again, this has been brought to you by James Chia Facebook page. I'm Rhoda Young Live. I'm Rhoda Young Live. And we on the scene of this right now. Hi, guys. This is my #1 fan right here.
What's up? Girl, you know how to come out and see. If I know it was a call, I will book your call.
Oh, no, I'm fine.
I'm
You
sorry,
know. Yeah, we still live. It's okay.
No, I just came to speak to you.
Yo, you good? Y'all, this is my #1 fan right here, guys. If y'all ever be on Facebook watching and somebody always saying the #1 news reporter of the 757, this is the man behind the inserts on every Facebook post I make. Tell me one thing. I'm asking my phone. Tell me one thing. What you've been following me for some years now?
Yes, I've been following you since day one.
Since day one. What make you follow me, and what make you so interested in following Rhoda Young Live?
You're very serious about people. You're concerned about everybody. You try to help people when they can't, when you can. And you just a real person and help and you help everybody. I don't care what race she is. She help everybody. She don't care if you're black or white or wherever you is. She will help you out. And I'm telling you, I stick with her. And I trust in her. She should have ran for governor or something, but she's a beautiful person.
Thank you.
And tell Jane and your husband, you got a really good wife. Too.
Thank you, Stephen.
Okay, amen.
Yes, amen, amen. I appreciate that. I appreciate that, guys. Somebody said something about Seattle. Or Seahawks. Seattle Seahawks. Somebody said. Number one is Seahawks.
That's right, all the way.
All the way, baby. Just like that. Just like that, guys. Keep your eyes open, guys. If you see somebody digging in your backyard, they could be laying pipelines, gas pipelines right in your backyard without your acknowledgement. Our lives matter. All lives matter. Your kids and your grandkids' lives matter too. That's why it's so important that we get out here, guys, and research what's really going on in our own backyards. Brother Young, and we out of here.